Just a few kilometers out of Savuti towards Kasane, there is a game viewer that's bogged down or broken down. I don't know if it's actually bogged because it is not that deep, and it's in the middle of the road. So for us to actually get around it, we had to climb the little hill on the side, which is just sand, and with the companion behind us it got a bit difficult, but luckily we managed to pull through. So yes, the sand is extremely loose on this road. Not sure if it is the time of the day. It is actually still early, just past 10, but it is a scorcher of a day. So let's take it on further. I think it's still another 150 kilometers to Kasane itself. So I'm not sure the sandier part, how far that still is. In the previous episode, we stayed at Savuti. Savuti spoiled us with endless sightings of predators, which included the marsh lion pride. We start off this episode by traversing the very loose sand section between Savuti, Linyanti and Kasane. In the beginning of our trip, I'm not exactly sure where this wheel alignment bolt broke off, but you can go check the previous episodes. I'll have the link in the description. The wheel alignment bolt for the trailer broke off, and it hasn't been a problem up until now, and now in the thick sand towards Kasane, the rear right tire of the trailer doesn't follow the cruiser's track, so it wants to keep going to the right out of the track, and that's creating a bit of a break for the cruiser, making this road a bit tougher than we anticipated it to be. This is the track that the companion wants to keep following, and this shows how it should run as on the other side. We just went through the Chobe National Park, Goa Wildlife Gate, exiting the Chobe National Park. Now we have started the journey on the Goa Wildlife or Goa Forest Game Reserve, something of that order. We spoke to someone at the gate and they said this road that is in front of us is worse than the one that we just did from Savuti. So let's see what it entails. So yeah, a few minutes later the road is not worse of sand, but corrugations and bumps, and yeah, it's not the best road to drive. Our speed has decreased dramatically. I know you can go fast over this and it might reduce the bumps, but we don't do it like that. We'd rather take in the scenery. But at the moment it seems like we are going to get to Chobe Safari Lodge at Kasane quite late this afternoon. So this is the type of roads that this Chobe Forest road has. It is quite a laugh in the vehicle when we are driving here. I do not know how people drive this road in a couple of hours. It is going to take us a very, very long time. Not much further, then this happened. It was at about this time that I have made up my mind that I needed larger tires. We tried it slow, fast and all other ways, and eventually we got out. Luckily, some friendly tourists came to assist us as well. It was at the hottest time of the day that we got bogged, and we were completely drained after the recovery, but it just added to the adventure. So we finally arrived in Kasane. We got into town around 4 o'clock. We left this morning just after 9:30. So doing the calculations, it's what, about 2.5, 4, 6, 7 hours of drive. It's been a long ride, but we are here at Chobe Safari Lodge, listening to the amazing bird sounds all around us. Today was the first time that we actually got bogged down, that we needed the max tracks to get out. It was in the middle of the day. That road took us much longer than we thought to get to the 7 dunes, and unfortunately we stopped for a drink and I stopped in a soft patch of sand, so starting the vehicle up again and getting it moving was quite impossible. But we got out. It added to the adventure and was much fun. Now it is time for a cold St. Louis, starting the fire and to cook some nyama. Just a short walk from our campsite, you will find the entertainment and restaurant area. Chobe Safari Lodge has superb sunsets, as it is situated on the banks of the Chobe River. So we just entered the Chobe National Park at the Savuti gate. We tried to be there very early this morning, but unfortunately we arrived the same time as the tour operators, all the game viewers. I must say it was very busy, but everyone was very friendly, and it didn't really take that long, maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes to get our permit, but it was a lot of people. But anyway, now we are driving in the Chobe National Park, taking the riverfront road. Let's see if we can find something. The riverfront had a lot of wildlife as well as some nice birds. We then came across this elephant carcass, where there were lots of interesting interactions between some vultures. And the smell? Well, we can still smell it till today. We left the vultures and just around the corner we found this. Today we did a little trip into the Chobe National Park, entered at Savuti Gate. We also just came out of here and it was a very productive morning. There is a lot of animals, especially on the riverfront road. Elephants all over, lots and lots of buffaloes, birds. We were lucky to see lions, roan antelope, and then the other thing is we got stuck again, stuck in the Chobe National Park at a little crossing where the middle maniki, I don't know what it's in English, the middle maniki is very high. So we just literally stopped and we couldn't move. The diffs was already in the ground. So unfortunately that happened. We had to use the winch, the first time ever, but we are out. One of the DWNP vehicles also came to assist. They also got stuck, so luckily we had the winch and we managed to get ourselves out. The cruiser did not even budge. When we got back to camp, we realized that with the recovery in Chobe, we had completely destroyed our tires, as well as the max tracks. Chobe Safari Lodge lies on the banks of the Chobe River. Their entertainment area has a proper pool, restaurant as well as a bar. Sundowners is the way to go here. We stayed in the campsites and the ablution was very well kept and cleaned all the time.
Wow, swart op 'n boom is dit een wat vlieg.
There are a few campsites, but unfortunately not all of them are very large, and most are right on top of each other. There are a few against the river that is a bit more spacious. The ground is also very uneven. But all of this said, it did not bother us at all as we were out most of the time. Right in the campsite there is also the Savuti bar. The campsites also have frequent visitors and the bird life and sounds are a bird's dream. Another must visit when in Kasane is the Old House Bed and Breakfast. The vibe and friendliness here are top notch, and their pizzas are some of the best. Boat trips on the river as well as into the Chobe National Park can also be booked from here. One of the advantages of staying at Chobe Safari Lodge is that it is right next to the Chobe National Park. This means that from the moment you get onto a boat, you are basically in the park. The next day we went to Chobe on solid ground, and on this day we found lion around every corner. We are here at a beautiful picnic site in the Chobe National Park. I think it's called Serondela picnic site. Having a little lunch snack. My mic cable broke at this moment. I was basically rambling on about how amazing Chobe has been treating us and how abundant wildlife is. The river does have a big influence on this, as in general it was the dry season. This was our last evening at Chobe Safari Lodge. So, in good fashion, we went and had a sundowner, taking in the last sunset of the trip over the Chobe River. We are busy cooking up our last steaks, as well as some mince that we have left before we're heading down to either Elephant Sands or Woodlands tomorrow. There's some vet fences that we are crossing, so we want to get the meat cooked up before we head over there. We are always asked what our fuel consumption is on the trips that we do. On this trip, we used 4 jerry cans filled with 19 liters each, as well as filling up at the fuel station, using a total of 261 liters. We traveled a total of 1,183 kilometers. This gave us a fuel consumption of 4.5 kilometers per liter, or using 22 liters per 100 kilometers. This was since we left Maun, Truquai, Savuti and Chobe, as well as the thick sand and getting bogged twice. We are here at Elephant Sands at the moment. We wanted to try and push it through to Woodlands, but it didn't feel right driving past Elephant Sands and not paying them a visit. We've been visiting this place for many years, even when there was trees all over here where under you could find some shade. But right now they have actually built some covered areas at every braai stand, or well, every campsite itself, which provides some shade for the hot sunny day. Elephant Sands is a lodge with campsites in the northeastern part of Botswana, around 50 kilometers north of Nata. It is ideally situated as a stopover to the Chobe National Park or to visit the Makharihari Pans. Tours to these places can also be arranged from here. The lodge has a bar, restaurant and a swimming pool to cool off whilst elephants roam just a few meters away. There is a natural waterhole in the center of the lodge and campsites where elephants constantly come to drink. The ablution facility is also very well kept and always clean. It also comes with a view from the loo. We have also seen some wild dog here on a previous visit, but the best will always be the presence of the elephant. Some domesticated pets will also come to visit your campsite. This was a reminder to always look down and to always wear closed shoes, something easily neglected by most of us. We stayed over at Elephant Sands just before lucky we did. We almost drove past to the woodlands. But this place just once again proved that it is one of the best places in Botswana if you want to see elephants. And it is properly maintained and clean as well, and the people there are extremely friendly. So, as Einstein says, doing the same thing more than once and expecting different results. We are again on the worst road in Botswana, the way to Limpopo River Lodge again, crossing through Limpopo Lafari at the moment. This must be one thing that makes a true overlander. Complaining about bad roads, but still going out the very next day and driving these less traveled bad roads. Here we are again at Limpopo River Lodge, our favorite campsite here, number 6. We drove today from Elephant Sands all the way here. Left after 8, maybe closer to 9, and arrived here around 5 in the afternoon. The road from, I think it's Zanzibar, to Limpopo River Lodge is extremely bad. There's sections that there isn't even a road, so it is very slow going. So sitting here on the banks of the Limpopo, thinking back about a couple of weeks when we arrived here, our first stop into Botswana, our Botswana trip for September 2023. It is actually now the 9th of October, going back to South Africa, our last stop in Botswana once again. The river is quite lower than it was the first time that we were here, but the same things is going to happen next to the river. We are going to light a fire and enjoy a peaceful evening. This was the end of our trip. Thank you so much to everyone who followed us on this adventure. If you missed an episode, here is a recap with some links to our previous episodes. We started where we ended, at Limpopo River Lodge in the Tule area. This served as a great introduction to what was about to unfold in the following couple of weeks, where we went to the vast open spaces of Kubu Island and had dust creep into every area imaginable. We then stayed at our favorite campsite in the Kwai area, Kwai Safari Grounds. Unfortunately, we had to do a few water crossings here, but nothing too bad. Don't get me wrong, we are not fans of water crossings and we try to avoid them as far as possible. In these instances, the crossings was worth it, and we found a lot of wildlife waiting for us on the other side. We then headed to Kwai Mogoto, where we were welcomed by some wild dogs that were running through our campsite. Here we came across an abundance of predators, and leopards were all over the place. Our next stop was Savuti. Here the predators were not shy as well. We then traversed some really thick sand between Savuti, Linyanti and Kasane. Once again, we were rewarded in the Chobe National Park, where we found some tree climbing lions on the riverfront road. We also had to dust off our 10-year-old winch and used it for the first time. All of this before getting a proper send-off from the Ellies at Elephant Sands.